Good peoples. We are back again with episode 12, the Uncommon Rapport podcast. And I am your host, Kevin Mullins. And we have a special guest on the line tonight, also with a co-host of mine, a dear brother. So we're going to get right into it. I'm going to introduce them and bring them on in. What's good peoples? How y'all doing? Unmute yourselves. Talk to the people.
Hey.
What's good? We got my brother Q-Tipp to the left. That is the feature for the night. And down below, we got my brother Nafi Bay in the house. Talk to the people.
Peace. Hope everybody. Math is hard. I hope everybody's having a good day or afternoon. Hope y'all had a good day. Full of everything that you wanted and more. And we about to have some dope combo. So, yeah.
Absolute. Q, talk to the people, man.
Well, first, man, I gotta give thanks to God because without Him, it would be possible. Gotta give Him all the most praise there is because without Him, I won't have this talent to serve His people. So I'm grateful.
Absolute. Big ups to the Most High. Absolute. So we're gonna dive right on off the diving board into the lane and the vein of this brother right here, Mr. Q-Tipp. I read your bio, and it was intriguing because we parallel across a few lines. You started music while you was young, about sixth grade, correct?
Sixth grade.
Okay. And then you eventually you went to the marching band at State, right?
Yep, the best band in the land. You already know.
I knew he was gonna say that. Well, look, talk to the people about how this musical journey began. When you was in middle school, or was it before middle school? Talk to them and let them know how this music journey started.
Oh man, really, the music ain't started until after my marching band career. Like I said, the music, me being an artist, didn't really start until what the words I could put. It ain't start until it was my birthday, and I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to push myself for greater. So I couldn't think of no better way to challenge myself to make music. If you would have came up to me 10 years ago talking about Q, you're gonna be a upcoming recording artist, I would probably look at you like you serious and like, yeah, you don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, man. It's a lot. Like I said, I just want my music to be inspiring. I know everybody could relate to depression. I know everybody probably been through it once or twice in their life. So, that I want my music to inspire them, uplift them, motivate them. Most importantly, uplift the next generation that's after me and the younger generation before that, because that's the generation that's most important. Because my generation is pretty much grown now. So now I'm trying to look over to the next generation, because they is what's next after me, or after my generation. So I'm just trying to inspire them, let them know they're going to have hard times. But, hey, you have to see through them hard times, make it through, have their faith, walk out on faith, believe God got them, and they be all right. Just walk out on faith. That's all.
Walk out on faith. So let's take it back a little bit though. In middle school, matter of fact, where are you from? Let's go there. Where you from?
Okay, well, I'm from Mullins, South Carolina, born and raised. For people that know what Mullins is, it's a small little town. As you know, a whole lot of great different talents come from that one small town, as y'all can see.
Big facts.
And I'm just grateful to be in that number, to be one of them greatness. I mean, it's like that one small town has nothing but greatness, a whole lot of greatness, people coming out of it, and everybody. So that's one amazing town that I'm grateful that I'm proud to say I'm from.
Okay.
So
All
yeah,
right. Okay. Big ups to Mullins, South Carolina. Also,
yep,
I'm gonna give a
yep.
quick shout out. You know what I'm saying? Mullins, South Carolina got this thing called Grub on the Green. So if you available in Mullins, South Carolina on the first and third Fridays, come out to Grub on the Green, sponsored by the city of Mullins. So in
Mm-hmm.
that, and while you was in middle school, what
Yep,
instrument did you play? Because you said you was on the band, correct?
correct, correct.
All right. So what instrument did you play?
I was playing trumpet. That was the one too. I thought the trumpet was cool, so it was getting all the ladies' attention. So shoot, why not? Why not?
My man
So
say he
yeah,
was blowing the horn.
so why not? And dancing, doing dance moves while playing the instrument, I thought that was cool as well. So why not?
Okay. All right. And did you play the trumpet all through your years from 6th through 12th, or did you transfer or move to any different spots while being in music?
Oh no, I did trumpet my whole band career from start to finish, from sixth grade all the way up to my second year of being on the marching band in college. I finished it all the way through.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. So what was that experience like playing on the greatest band in the land?
Man, it was lovely, man. It was a great experience. As some people know, it's like it's the next jump, the next stage level, the next level. You get more exposure than you do than being on the high school or middle school band. Of course, you get to travel more. That's one thing I liked about being on the college band, and that's one thing why I wanted to be on the college band because you travel more. You got competitions. You see these other bands across the world. You meet amazing people from other bands. Get connections with them, network, and man, it's just the amazing experience. My most my most favorite memory I got on being in that band was when we went to Atlanta, Georgia. You probably heard of it.
Mm,
Honda Battle of the Bands back in 2016.
okay.
So that was my freshman year being on that band. So that was my favorite. That was my favorite memory being on that band.
All right. All right. So you played band, and you transitioned outside of band into the music realm. So let's travel a little
Mhm.
bit.
Okay.
So you was about 18 to 20 whenever you was in college. For 2 years you
Mm,
say you played on the marching band.
yeah.
And how old are you now?
25. Next month I'll be
25.
26.
All right, cool. So we talking about a span of about 5 years, 4 to 5 years before you actually began to dive off into the artistry.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. All right. And I heard you mention something about depression.
Yep.
Tell us how the music actually relieved you, and you found that as a means of your therapeutic ways of, battling with it and dealing with it and beating that challenge.
All right. Well, it all started when I really ain't had nobody to talk to. For one, my mom, she was a busy lady from working, and when she got off work, she'd be tired. And I didn't want to bother her, and to put more stress out on my mom because I was feeling alone. So I ain't really had nobody to talk to that I was comfortable with talking to. So that's when I found music. Well, I'm gonna take that back. I found music as an escape because I was listening to music. And by me listening to music and by me listening to these mainstream artists, they helped me, escape depression or whatnot. So while I was listening to these mainstream artists, they helped me. And so by me being an upcoming artist, I want to help others just like the mainstream artists helped me. I want to inspire them just like how they inspired me. Um, I want to give them that motivation just like how they motivated me. Um, if I didn't find music back during my depression stage, there's no telling where I would be. I probably wouldn't be here today. But who all knows? I could have been in the crazy zone. There's no telling. But I just thank God that I found music. Music helped me escape, made me feel better, made me a whole new person. Well, not a whole new person, but just helped me get out of that dark place, and I was able to find the light.
Wow. You've
So,
you've heard it here first. This brother said the music was his therapeutic means to escape
mhm,
from the darkness and seek the
mhm.
light. Nafi, what you got to talk to the people about, man?
Man,
Talk
first,
talk on that subject.
oh boy, um, I love your story, man. That's super
Appreciate you,
inspirational.
man.
That's honestly a lot of people's story with music as a means of expression. Of course, we obviously some of us are gifted with certain things, but you know, once the wow factor of the gift is gone, it's really about like what are you doing with the gift. Um, and I do have a question. Do you primarily just play trumpet, or do you like rap, produce? I'm really just trying to learn. Um, so yeah, let me know what's up.
Okay, that's a good question. I just started making beats
Okay,
because Kevin Mullins, he had actually came up to me. He had listened to the H.E.R album. And by the way, the album is out on all platforms, so go check it out.
check it out.
But yeah, Kevin Mullins, he had came up to me and he was telling me about the beats and how the beats was tight. And he pretty much heard all my songs, and he basically heard all the beats. And he would keep telling me with every song, he loved the beats, he loved the sound, something different. So really, Kevin Mullins, he helped me get into making beats, because if he loved beats, then maybe somebody else would love my beats too, and they would get a feeling from my beats too, just like how I did for making music. And so I want to pass my inspiration into beats, into somebody else and their songs or whatever they do with it. With me, beats are not just the beats. I try to put like a message, like it's a beat. To some people, it might be like a sound, but to me, it's more than a sound. It's sound with words, but you can't hear it. If that makes sense, it's 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 melody. Like melody have to speak to you. So that's what I'm trying. In every song that you hear, I try to put a melody to it. I try to put a message to it. I try to put a story tale in it as well. So by me making beats, I want to do that, pass that on as well.
Yo, this man talking energy in the music. He talking that frequency. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
that inherent thing we all resonate with, man, in the artistry. Okay. Um, and do you usually include your trumpet playing in the beats? Like, is that like your main instrument, or do you have what kind of sound do you usually go for?
Shoot, I usually try to go for the jazz song, because growing up, well, I'm gonna take it back. I'm gonna take it back a little bit. How I came up with my sound. Growing up, my mom listening to like Teddy Pendergrass, Tina Turner, all them great people. Matter of fact, Tina Turner was one of my mom's favorite artists or whatnot. So that's what I was listening to growing up as a kid with my mom. Now, on my aunt's side, it was nothing but gospel. So when I with my aunt, I was listening to gospel like Kurt Franklin, all them. Um, and on my cousin's side, when I be with them, they more like in the pop and the more dark side of things. So as you can see, I got these different kind of genres in it. And by my aunt being a school teacher and by her being a band teacher as well at her high school, that just gave me more knowledge to me. About She gave me that knowledge that I need, so I could use it and put it in my music. And by her being a music teacher, and by her graduating from the same school where college that I came from, you know, I could put it all together as one. So as you can see, I came from a music based family. My cousin, he played the trombone. Sadly, he don't play the trombone right now, but he played the trombone. Um, back Ray, I'm about to take a Ray back. Back to my great granddaddy. He was a music person as well. He used to write music as well too. So yeah, as you can see, music is just really in our blood. It's in the Page family blood. And everything. And that's about it.
Okay. So you just when you grow up in it, you grow up in it. In my story, my pop was a DJ, right? He and an MC, um, and a producer. So he literally used to have me and my sister like on his tracks when we were little, like
Mm-hmm.
a lot of them. So you know what I mean. And then as I grew up, and my mom and dad separated, but my stepdad
Mm-hmm.
also music. He did a lot of gospel rap. He also
Mm-hmm.
produces, and you know what I mean. So when you in the
Mm-hmm.
environment, you're in the environment, and you more often than not, like you will usually be a blend of the same type of music that's in your environment. Um,
Mm-hmm.
okay. I'm getting a feel for it. Now, do you have any particular like goals set for your music as far as like because I the the message is clear, the intention is clear, right? We know why you
Mm-hmm.
do it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any like any personal goals, not necessarily accolades, like know, um,
Personal goals.
yeah,
All could all could honestly my personal goals, hopefully that I do make it to become a mainstream artist. Um, Therefore, if I do become a mainstream artist, I could give back to my community, which is Mullins, South Carolina, like start doing charity work and all that, and whatnot. Um, just be a positive, just be a positive outlook,
okay,
a positive artist that came out, first I came out to be now right now I'm just underground artist, but I'm trying to work my way up to this mainstream life. And once I get to this mainstream life, I want to give back to the to the city that I came from.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I hear you talk about you want to be a mainstream artist. What
Mm-hmm.
is a route that you want to take? Do you want to take a good record deal, because we know there's some bad ones out there. Those
Oh yeah,
360s
most
have
definitely.
people. We hear the stories. We know about them. Or do you want to take the grind route of an independent artist?
Honestly, it's by me hearing the stories of the background stories of these record labels. Me, honestly, I don't trust them. I mean, there's some good ones out there, but then to me, it's like it's more bad ones than good. It's like they want to use your talent just so you can make them money and don't want to give you like a penny out and give you like a penny back, even though it's your song and got your name on it. The money is going to that record label. So I did thought about that. So I just want to be an independent artist. That way, all my funds will come to me and to my family. And so if something happened to me, and my music's still out there making streams and getting these views, all the money that that would be coming from these streams would be going to my family. So it'd be no money lost. It'd be coming to me somehow. If it ain't coming to me, it's coming to my family. So it's no string attached. So that's part of the route I'll probably take.
This brother say he got the plan.
Master plan.
Let's yes sir. Let's execute. I like that. Nafi?
Yeah.
I had like so we're pretty much in the realm of the industry, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
um, where do you feel music is headed long term? Like, where do you feel, um, not to say your place in it because we kind of just talked about that, but where
Yeah.
do you see yourself? Like, not to say that. Um, where, how do you feel about music today? Whether it's mainstream, underground. And also, if are there any particular artists that you're listening to right now in this moment?
Okay, well, that was a good question. I'm pretty glad you say that. Music today. I'm gonna start with the mainstream artists that's out, that's popular. You got some good mainstream artists out there. They make good music. You know, it feeds into the soul that the people need. That's great. But you also got the artists that's in the mainstreams that talk about what hardly nothing. Like they talk about nothing that you could relate to. Like that talk about how much money they got or all the shooting and killing they got. Can't It's like certain people, if not nobody, could relate to them type of artists. So it's just like you got artists out there in the mainstream life, like they making music just to make money. Like they don't care how the youngest might feel about or anything like that. So that's one thing I'm disappointed into some mainstream artists is that they just making music because it's filling up their pockets with money.
They doing it for
And
clout. They
they're
doing it
doing
for
it
clout.
for cloud. Yeah, they're doing it for cloud. They're not doing it, yeah, like my man Kevin Munch, they're doing it for cloud. Um Now there are some artists that's not doing it for cloud. They actually want a better world for it. Now you also got mainstream artists like they taking old music that's already been out years and years back, and they rewriting it and claiming it as their own. But when if you're a true musician like I know, like, hey, this is not your original song. This sound came from this song back way back in the day.
They
Like for
sampling
example.
tracks.
Yeah, like y'all probably didn't know. Y'all probably do like this Main Street artist named H.E.R, and his single First Class. If you ain't know, that song was sampled. I forgot the name. of this
That was
artist.
that's Fergie. First class
Yeah,
up
but
Yeah,
in
Jack
the
Harlow is on
sky.
that though. Yeah, Jack
Yeah,
Harlow
yeah,
on that though, Nafi.
yeah, I know. No,
yeah,
he made his own. He made his own hit sampling that song. And
yeah.
while I do definitely see like um I could definitely see where you know artists copying other artists can be a thing. But there's
Mhm.
nothing new under the sun as well. And hip hop
Yeah.
culture is literally sampling. Like I ain't gonna lie, like some of your
Mhm.
favorite songs, especially from like think of like P Diddy in like the '90s, right? All of them
Mhm.
songs was old, and they sampled it and flipped it and did the same thing. Now, it's wrong when the credit not given. Like, don't sample the joint and then be like, nah, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Oh, I did this. It's original. Nah, pay
They
homage.
act like it's theirs. Like they the ones that took the time out and went be creative with it. It's
Mm-hmm.
just like, bro, this ain't your song. I know you ain't took the time out and be creative with it. So me, I hate artists like that. They don't take the time out and be creative with their music. And
Okay.
to answer your other question, you said who are my main? I think you said you had asked what are some mainstream artists that I look up to.
Well, not
Um,
mainstream, not just any artist in general. Like, admire their art. You still listening to them
okay,
right now, like that type of vibe.
okay. Well, mainstream. Well, me, I don't know no underground rapper that inspiring me right now because we all in the same boat. We all trying to get to like these mainstream artists. But let me see. I got so many. My first role model got to be Chris Brown. Yeah, that that was my first role model being in the music industry. Is my boy Chris Brown. Um, Matter of fact, Chris Brown had inspired me to come up with this Hurt album. Because if you look back in the years, I think in like 2010, Chris Brown came out with the Fame album. And he had every word stand for, like the F stands for a word, every letter in Fame stands for something. So that's the story. That's the background story on her. Chris Brown inspired me Chris Brown inspired me for making her by making Fame the album. And let me explain her because some of y'all probably ask what do H.E.R stands for. Okay, so H.E.R stands for his external risk. And the way I came out with that is because every guy can almost relate. Some guy is taking some type of risk out he's taking something that's inside, that's outside of him and giving it to her, if that makes sense. He's making some type of risk just to be with this one female. Or for example, he might be leaving one side of the family. He might leave his side of the family to be with this girl because this the girl that he loves, for example. So it's so many uh it's so many stories you could put with her. But I just gotta say Chris Brown is what inspired me to come out with her. On the creative side, what artists made me be creative is, man, I gotta give it to Tootsie because for one, he get it down pat from the sound, his sound and his beats, everything, the whole 9 yards. Tootsie, he doing his thing right now with the whole music thing. I could relate, and his music is more relatable, so he's doing his thing right now. Who else? Shouts to H.E.R. At first I didn't listen to him because his song was starting to get too depressing. But I see as he get older, it's starting to get more inspirational. So yeah, his music is getting more inspirational. So I listen to more H.E.R. now.
Okay.
Let's take it back. Now, shoot, the creative side, I gotta say, I got so many. Back in the day, you got Michael Jackson. You got Michael Jackson. You got Prince. It's so many, man. You got Selena, as you see with the shirt.
I was
You got
gonna ask you
Selena.
about that. I was
You
gonna
got
ask you,
Selena.
have you tapped in with Selena, man? She's amazing. Like
Yeah,
her
she
voice,
is.
it don't make no sense. That girl can
It
sing.
is. And Aaliyah, Selena and Aaliyah, those two are more female wise. Them two are my most favorite artists of all time. So I
Okay.
try to put my sound based off of Selena and Aaliyah.
Okay. Okay.
So
All right, all right. So let's talk about the project H.E.R. I'm gonna
okay.
put that up there so people can see what it is. If you take a look at it, this is the artwork and the album cover of our dear brother
Mhm.
Q-Tipp. Tell us about this artwork. Tell us about this artwork.
All right.
What does it symbol?
As you see, how can I put? As you can see on the front of the screen, it has different colors, and the different colors represents a meaning. So the different colors means you never know a female. You don't truly know a female because they can always switch it up. So that's why I put the different colors in it. And as you see with the stars, I put the stars around the head because for one, no matter what, a female is always gonna be a queen. That's no matter what. So that's why I put the little crown right there. And the stars on it, because let me represent the stars. The stars have a meaning too. They, the stars, how can I put it? It's like when you knock somebody out, they don't remember. They don't remember everything. It's like they bipolarness. So by me representing a female being bipolarness, my best way I could put it was the stars. And as you see, also there's like almost like a sun right there in the middle of the forehead. That's pretty much easy. Y'all can pretty much know what that symbolizes, and that's the light, because has a every female should be a light to another man's eye. So that's why I put the little sun right there in the forehead, and that pretty much represents her. That's how her was born.
I like that. I like that. I see you got the astronomy inside of her as well too. If you really, pay attention to the details, um, that's pretty dope, man.
Yeah, I just peeped that, man. She really had.
Astrology. I said astronomy. My bad. Astrology.
Not well. They are actually they are the same and different. Like astronomy is the
Okay.
study of the actual physical planet and like the science behind that, and then astrology is the Taurus and Gemini and all of that. Um,
Right. Right.
but yeah, no, I just noticed that, and that's dope. I love that. I dig that.
So let's talk about the recording process. Since this being your
Okay.
first studio project, you
Okay.
you talked about how Chris Brown was one of your inspirations on how you used the acronym of what his album, and you kind of
Mhm.
remixed it a little bit and did that for your own. So
Mhm.
what was the recording process like being
Um.
your first album?
It was a lot, man. It was a whole lot. Some nights I ain't get no sleep because by it being my first album, I want it to be perfect. Me, I just didn't want to put out an album just to say I put out an album. I wanted to put out the album and really be satisfied with the album, with the quality work and everything. And I didn't want, how with some albums it just have one sound and one theme. No, I didn't want that for the H.E.R. album. I wanted to be multiple sounds, multiple themes, everything from heartbreaks to can I get your number to breakup. So you got from can I get your number to breakups to we should get together. All three in one album. So that's what I wanted, man. I want three different meanings in one album. Because if
What
you
was the
think about it,
process like recording this?
man, it was hard. Like some of them songs, it took me about four. It took about like 4 or 5 times recording, re-recording, re-recording. Like one song, I had to re-record like 4 or 5 times just because I didn't like how I sounded. I don't like how my sound right, or I fumble my words, or anything in that nature. So I kept like, nah, that don't sound right. That's not pleasing to my ear. So if it's not pleasing to my ear, then it most definitely ain't gonna be pleasing to nobody else's ear. So I try to put other people. I pretended like I was an outsider listening to this. I'm gonna put it in that way. I judge my how can I put it? I was my own critic at the time making this album. I was my own anything. My worst person. I'm like, man, you could do better than this. But nah, like I said, I was just my own critic. To make my own album. So I just I just want everything to be perfect, pleasing to the ear.
Man, I don't care what nobody say. Who you from? Where? What? Where? Why? Don't nobody talk more smack than an artist and a critic. That I bruh, that
Uh-huh.
man will fry you up and be like, nah, you think this hard? Man, that don't. You know what I mean? Like, and that's
Well, man,
over.
you could do better than this, man. Come on
Yeah,
now.
this.
Yeah,
Oh, you know what I mean? That just you just learn to put him in the corner for about 5-10 minutes, and then
yeah.
do what it do.
But
Gotta swallow that pride.
I think as an upcoming developing artist, those are some of the things that you need to do in order to
Uh-huh.
critique your sound, in order to critique the articulation of the lyrics, making sure you coming in right, and things of that nature. I think you need to be your biggest critic, and like you said, if it's not pleasing to you, then what
Uh-huh.
suggests to you that someone else is gonna like it? You know, it has to
Yeah.
resonate with your soul as the creative, as the creator of over this project, in order for other people to like it. Um,
Yeah.
so I think being your biggest critic is a plus. It's a plus. It's
Uh-huh.
definitely a plus.
Gots to be. That's gotta be your number one goal.
Hmm.
Uh,
I like. I guess I'm kind of speaking for myself here, but it's always been, you know, sometimes we can be too hard on ourselves, right? So it's, yes, you know, wanting to do our very best and perform to the best of our ability, but also giving ourselves grace when we gonna stumble. Like, everybody makes bad songs, bad beats, all of that. So it's giving yourself grace. Like, all right, this was an attempt at whatever. Let's try this again. You know what you did wrong. Let's improve on it. You know what I mean? Good cop and bad cop, so to speak. Right.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Cool.
When's the next project? I know. How long has it been out?
This one just dropped.
Oh, it's just dropped.
This one dropped August 19th.
That's me. I gotta pay attention.
August 19th.
Okay. That's dope. Are you? Go ahead.
But I am gonna drop some more albums. This album, H.E.R, was more like the R&B and rap in me. So, and fun fact, since we're on the subject, I really didn't find hip hop and R&B until like I was in my early teens, probably like 10, 11, 13. Like, I ain't heard my first rap song or R&B song until I was at a cookout. My uncle was playing. Matter of fact, it was T.I. Big Things Popping, and you know, I was jamming that. I know I was like, okay, what is this? He was like, you ain't never heard this? I was like, nah, what genre is this? He was like, hip hop. I was like, okay, so really T.I. is what caught my eye with the hip hop side. R&B side, man, let me see. We got some good artists right here, but I got to say my first time being in the R&B was Beyonce, because that's when she came out. What's that song called? What's that album called? I think it's called BDAY. With To the Left. Yep, that song. That was my first R&B song that I heard too, and I was jamming in that. I was like, okay, I don't know who she telling to go to the left to, but I'm feeling it, you know. And so that's me finding myself, finding R&B and hip hop. And like I said earlier, I was just around Tina Turner with my mama and Prince with my mama, because that's all she listened to. And when I with my aunt, you know, I was with gospel. So I feel like my next album, I'm either gonna go with my aunt and go straight gospel on my next album, or I'm gonna take it old school like my mom did with some Tina Turner and some Prince, and you know, some Michael Jackson. I always try to switch it up, because as an artist, I feel like you shouldn't stay in one genre. You should try to switch it up. That's why they call you an artist, because you can switch it up. And I feel like you ain't no artist if you don't switch up your music or switch up your sound. So
wait, hold on, coach. You know, man, I could definitely see why you say that, because versatility, right? You want to be versatile with your art form, and eventually you lean towards versatility. But I think at the same time that you should, like, you can't switch it up until you have a foundation, right? So, there are artists who have a particular sound or make music for a particular audience, and we see that today. Um, do we have our own opinions about the degree of art that they put out? Of course, because music and art is subjective. But just I won't say they not an artist. Like, I mean, yo, Cole do a whole lot of rapping, but that don't mean he not a. You know what I'm saying? Now I do have a question about, I guess, subject matter. So what primarily do you prefer to write about? Of course, I know you said earlier that your music is you want your music to help other artists with, like, depression and just being an inspiration, right? What and the H.E.R album, right? Obviously, that's talking about, you know, like you said, a woman being the light in a man's life, right? So is all of your music going to be solely driven by like topic based, or do you have like, are you wanting to tell your story, like, just the different things you like to talk about in your music?
Okay, well, first of all, that was a good question. So, but I'm gonna answer your question like this. I had some people ask me, "Is her a real person? Is you really talking about a Pacific female?" I get this all the time, so I'm gonna go ahead and answer it. Yes, her is real. Her is a real person. I am talking about a Pacific girl who I used to deal with back in my life. So you could say by me dealing with this girl for probably like ever since I was a childhood, because that's how we met. We was like a child and we grew up together. So unfortunately, me and this girl don't talk no more, or we don't we don't talk. We don't have no type of connection. It is all lost ties, cut ties across the board. So me, I felt some type of way, and what's better way for an artist to vent than to put out in his music. So that's another reason why how I found music, because I was hurt when me and her started talking, we lost all connection. Um, in one of my songs on the Her album, it's called A Message to Her. I think that's like the second track song on the album. It's actually me. It's actually me talking to her. Like, as if you hear it, you will actually hear me say, "I hope you listening because this song is about you." And I also said this whole album is about you and how I feel or how you made me feel about you. So yes, the whole Her album was the whole meaning and feeling came off of this one particular girl back in my childhood. Now to answer your question, me honestly, I feel like now they say you ain't supposed to compare yourself as these mainstream artists, which is true. But honestly, I see myself as another Bryson Thriller and Tootsie. That's just me. That's if I had to compare myself to a mainstream artist, I got I have to put Tootsie and Bryson Thriller all together and one.
Okay. So he bringing the vibes. He's singing. Yo, got you, got you.
This brother right here, y'all have heard a lot of detail from our dear brother Q-Tip. His album is out. If you want to stream it, please get on all of your streaming platforms: Apple Music, Spotify. Where
Mm-hmm.
else they can find you? You on Title,
YouTube, Q-Tip. You go
YouTube.
on YouTube and type in Q-Tip. It's everywhere. TikTok. If you feeling the song and you want to post it on TikTok, make a song about it, go on TikTok and it's on TikTok. So there you go. Her
And
So if
out on
y'all,
all platforms.
it's two P's in the name, not it's Q-Tip with two P's. Okay,
Yeah.
hey, get my man's name
so
right now.
if you see this album cover, type it in her
Yeah.
H.E.R
Her.
her streaming on all platforms. And I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate you so much for coming on this podcast and
Most
linking
definitely.
up
Most
with
definitely.
us, man. I'm grateful for the experience to dive deep and listen where you come from and bringing me up to speed to where you are today. I greatly
Mm-hmm.
appreciate this, man. And Nafi, I appreciate you too, man, for
Yeah,
coming
true
on being
indeed.
a co-host for the night.
True
I
indeed.
appreciate it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And as you see the ticker below, stay tuned because Common Ground is still growing up one mic at a time. And be still, we moving. Best believe we got some artists that's gonna pop out. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go ahead and throw it out there. Q-Tip gonna fly back into town and do
You
a show
already
with us
know.
and whatnot. So we got some things that's getting ready to start back up. Like I said, Common Ground is growing up one mic at a time. Good peoples. This has been the 12th episode of the Uncommon Report podcast. I appreciate you guys. We out.
Peace.
Peace out, y'all.